Hi everybody. It's been a while. How you doing? So I'll give you a little update on what we got going on here today. We're planting. It's a little bit too wet to plant this whole field, but we're going to plant what we can because there's apparently a bunch of rain coming. So we're going to get in what we can get in. This is a 90-acre field, 88, but I'm going to call it 90. I don't know if we can maybe get 50, 55 of it planted. That's what we're going to try to do, and hope we get lucky on the rain and it doesn't rain quite that much, but we'll see.
Why can't you get it all planted?
Because it's too wet. Got stuck once in this field. Hadn't been stuck in a long time, but I remember what it was like. It's not that great. So haven't had any super major breakdowns. We have had a wheel bearing theme seems to be going on here since last year. I don't know if you remember this. Maybe we didn't even talk about it, but we had a wheel bearing go out on one of our gravity wagons, full of grain, 325 bushels or 350 bushels, something like that. Tipped it right over. That's not great. I didn't do it. I wasn't driving. We'll leave that person anonymous, but it just happened. In fact, about right where we're standing, I think. We're going to show, so I've planted one load. This is a 12 row, 22 inch John Deere 7000 planter. It's got a plate system. Does a nice job. Happy with it for the most part. The bad part is filling it. We do have an auger system on one of our wagons. We were having some problems with it, and I probably wouldn't have used it for this seed anyway. This is treated seed, and I just don't like that stuff getting roughed up like that. Maybe it doesn't matter. A conveyor would be better for that, certainly. But let me show you that we've got a backup system. It's actually called the Armstrong loader, and let me show you how this one works. What you do is you get in the back of the trailer, and you take this scoop right here. You fill up all these buckets, and then you start filling those. But I tell you what, we're going to put this away, and we're going to use another bucket. This is a smaller bucket, but I find that easier than trying to dip those 5-gallon ones in. Not super efficient, but we get it done. So let me take you along. We've got all these buckets full, and if you were watching, you were probably thinking to yourself, gosh, I wonder if that's hard on his back. Yeah, hurts a lot. But each of these, if they're completely empty, take about 3 5-gallon buckets. These aren't completely empty, but they're close. Fill them up like that, kind of level it out. These are supposed to snap on here, but you can see this part's broke, so I put this one on backwards. These are fiberglass. They're old, and they're starting to fall apart a little bit. So you'll notice these are pink soybeans. Becky likes pink better, so that's why we're planting pink soybeans. No, these are actually treated. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on here. There's a fungicide, maybe more than one, insecticide. There's some different natural type products to help with heat stress and things like that, and drought. And what else? Oh, of course, it's got inoculant on it too, so fully treated. Hopefully it grows. And this is also, you know, it's traded, of course, so it's traded for Roundup and 2,4-D. So we should be able to kill anything, weed-wise. Okay, so I don't remember where we left off. It's been raining, so we haven't talked to you for a while. You can see behind me, this is the wheat field. It's green. That's the color we were hoping for. And you see some real nice looking stuff right here. That's where I filled the grain drill and spilled a little bit. So it's not all going to look quite that green. In fact, that's too green. And then over here to the west of you, this is the soybean field. Mostly planted. There's about somewhere between 20 and 25 acres I couldn't get to because it was just too wet. And to be honest, some of the stuff I did plant was wet and I planted it anyway. Just if I wasn't getting stuck, I was going to plant because it was going to rain again, and it did. We got another 2.65 inches after I planted this, so that stuff that was too wet before is definitely too wet now, and I don't know, we're supposed to get more rain, so see what happens there. This was planted May 11th. I'd like to have gotten it a few days earlier, but it was wet, so that's when it got planted. That's not late for us though. And this was, I'm trying to remember, the soybeans were probably 2 or 3 days after the wheat when that got planted. So we're just kind of in wait mode right now, waiting for it to dry up. We just drove out there to see how it was, and it's wet. The side-by-side pretty much went right down to the floorboards. We got out though. So we are gonna head back home tomorrow, and hopefully by next weekend it's dried up, but there's a chance of rain again, so we'll see what happens. Till next time, we'll see ya.